Game Base
Podcast.
We like talking stuff, so yeah.
Yo guys, it's Lone and Deo,
Yo.
Game-Base guys here, and we are going to... Well, this is episode 3, right?
Yeah, it's episode 3.
Episode 3
think,
of the
yeah.
podcast, yeah. It's episode 3, and
Yeah.
today we are discussing the future of portable handheld consoles. And the reason why we decided to talk about this is because we talked about the Sony Vita,
Yeah.
or PS Vita, and how good of a console it is. Because I have one, I have the Slim. Daryl had one, he sold his.
Yeah, well, yeah,
for
that's a story.
Yeah, he has his own he has his own reason why he sold his. But yeah, I have mine. I don't use it that religiously. But the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because I grew up playing portable consoles. Like, I didn't own a PS2 for that long, and my first real sit-in console was a PS3, because before that I would just play the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo DS, and you know, your generic, your obvious, common, or I'm using the wrong words here, but you get what I mean. I just use the basically most of the handheld consoles to play games on.
I didn't know you didn't. So you didn't go old school? You didn't go Nintendo 64, Dreamcast? No?
Yeah, I had the SNES,
SNES.
the Super Nintendo, and then I went to Game Boy. So I had the old Dreamcast, but I don't know what happened to that. I don't even think I played it. I can't remember what happened to it. I remember looking at it and having one, but you know what, you don't know what happens in my family. It might have been a fake one, or might be just someone brought it over or something. I don't remember. I was a kid back then. But I do know that I have a SNES and I still have it. I don't use it, which is quite sad because I would like to set it up, but
Yeah.
I just don't imagine myself just sitting down playing it anymore.
Man.
So yeah, the reason why I like playing these portable consoles is because I think when I was young, we didn't stay home much, and when we did stay home, it wasn't like we had those a lot of TVs to spare, and I like the fact that I had my own portable console that I can just play anywhere in the house.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't need to wait anyone to get off the TV or anything, and that I can play it in the toilet. I can play it when we leave the house. I don't have to stop any kind of any kind of progress just because of a certain situation that we had to leave home. And that was one of the reasons why I really liked having portable consoles. And that's another reason why I think I'm not really affected by graphics.
Yeah.
Because, portable consoles have trashy graphics. Let's just be honest here. The graphics are crappy. The mechanics of the game are not very good because obviously the hardware is limited. The amount of accessible buttons for logging certain types of moves is limited, and that's one of the reasons why I think Crisis Core didn't allow you to jump.
Yeah. Didn't have that much buttons available.
Yeah, you didn't have enough buttons available for you to do stuff, so jumping was not allowed in Crisis Core. So I think that, due to many reasons, I stuck to portable consoles.
Well, mine's a completely different story.
Yeah, I know. You play console games, you're a console freak.
So my turn. Okay, so me, I'm not really a fan of portable consoles. The only portable console I own is a 3DS, and that's for Pokemon.
Other than that, play that much.
Yeah, I don't even play Pokemon that much.
Here's the thing: this guy, he bought the 3DS, he sold the 3DS, and then he bought it again.
No, I got 2DS.
Oh, you bought a 2DS now?
Yeah. No, I had a 2DS, and I sold that, and I got 3DS.
Yeah. I think the 2DS is nice. I think if you're down with it, you should just use the 2DS. But yeah, that's
right. The 3DS is better though. It's way better.
Definitely. You
might as well. But the whole 3D is useless anyway. So if you don't care and you don't want to play in 3D, then you can get 2DS. It's cheaper, but just the flat. You would think it's uncomfortable to use because it's like a flat panel, but it's actually comfortable somehow. Anyway, I just wanted the big screen, so I got the 3DS XL. But for
definitely.
me,
that's the way to go.
Goddamn. Portable consoles, yeah. I didn't say I hate them, but I'm not. I'd rather play it at home. I don't play games outside.
Yeah.
I don't go out and game. I don't feel the need to play anything when I'm, just going somewhere. I even like I went on a flight and then I brought my 3DS along. I never played it once because I don't know. I just didn't really want to.
That's how I feel now anyway.
I just never had the feel to, and well, I did play a lot of Game Boy. I played a lot of Pokemon at home. I used to really like playing the Pokemon on Game Boy because then I could just play it even at night. Because at night, when I was younger, I couldn't play my console throughout the whole night because then I'll just get caught out and I get in trouble. So I was like, then I just bring my Game Boy and use it in my bed. But then it wasn't backlit, so I had to get I don't even know what I used my phone torch. I don't fucking know. I some kind of
light. You had a phone torch where you had a Game Boy. The hell? When did you have this Game Boy?
I don't know, but it was a long time ago when I was in. Shit, I don't even remember. But I remember I used a light, some kind of light, to see the Game Boy when I was in my bed in the dark. That's the only way I could play at night. And other than that, after the Game Boy, that was it. To be honest, I wanted the PSP and I did get a PSP, but then when I had the PSP, it was just like, eh. So it was like I always wanted to get the portable console to try and play it, but then when I got it, it was just like, eh. Don't really feel it. And all the games I really enjoy on console, except for there's some portable games that I really enjoy. Like I would consider some of the better games I've played in my lifetime, but generally, it's just not for me. I wouldn't like. That's why the Nintendo Switch is just not like appealing to me. It's not saying anything to me because it is basically a portable console that goes home, and I'm not interested in that. I want the big beefy home console on the PC to run epic shit on, basically.
Yeah, because like that's where the line crossed for me like now as I grew up. It's like when I leave home, I don't feel the need to play games anymore. So what I do is I either listen to music, or check the news, or look through social media, and to let the time fly by. And there's no game that I really play to make progress on anymore. Like at the moment, I'm playing Tactic Ogres, but I'm really playing that randomly. It's not like I have free time now, let me pick it up and play it. It's just like, oh, I just I might as well just play it. That's how I feel. And once I pick up and start playing it, I will start playing it. It's not as though I have a need to start playing it. It's quite hard to explain. It's like how I'm feeling about Final Fantasy 15 at the moment. So right now I have no intention of playing it at all, but I know that once I pick up and start doing stuff in the game and finding something to do or an objective, I will start playing it again. Yeah. So that's it's not a internal desire for me to play it. It's almost as if as soon as I start the engine running, I will start running the engine to play the game. But if I ain't gonna start this engine, I'm not gonna start playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah, what you mean. It's like
so like, do you think that kids nowadays, and this is the reason why portable gaming is on the decline, is because kids have access to phones, and the development in technology and allowing kids to afford these high-tech phones and giving them access to the App Store or Android Play. It's called Android Play, right? Or Google Play?
Google Play, yeah. Play Store.
Yeah, Google Play.
To be honest, I basically yes, and it's all social media. Like kids are all using tablets nowadays and stuff, and expensive phones, listening to music, going on social media, going on Vine, Snapchat, all that stuff. That's more entertaining to them now, rather than playing portable games. But at the same time, the kids don't even care about portable games. They just play it on the console. I'm seeing kids talking about building beast PCs as well. Like kids don't care about the portable consoles anymore. It's like
I haven't heard of a kid talking about beast PC.
Yeah, I have. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
How young are these kids?
12, 10. I don't know, man.
What the hell? My brother's,
But like
he's like 8 and he doesn't he only plays his iPad.
kids are asking for like, because I know someone like her little brother was asked for like PC parts for Christmas. It's crazy. Like it's crazy. Like but at the same time, you know, kids want to play these multiplayer games. So, you know, like Call of Duty, Battlefield and stuff. They're all into that now. They don't really care about all these portable consoles. It's like the people who are playing these portable consoles now that I see are the older people who were playing it when they were younger.
Yeah, it's like a piece of nostalgia.
Yeah, so they're already used to the portable gaming and they're still looking forward to those games that they played back then. But the new kids now, they don't care.
It's quite sad though, because now that I think about it, portable games are like it's almost one of those things that were the epitome of my childhood. So I can remember all those times when I played games that came out before I was born, things like Dragon Warrior, Saga, or for some people they might refer to it as Final Fantasy 1 or Final Fantasy Legends, like those kind of games. And you could only play those games, well, now you can play them on like emulator and stuff, obviously, but
and
it doesn't have that same kind of I wonder if that's even on Steam.
Kind of.
Final Fantasy Legends
they have a lot of them, but I don't know if they have the first. They have the first one, I think, definitely.
But yeah, like it's all these things that have some sort of mental attachment to these kids are really not gonna have, because can you imagine when, like, let's say a 5-year-old 5-year-old's way too young, let's say 10, right, and they're playing Call of Duty and they're just trash talking these older guys on TeamSpeak or whatever you call it, and then like 10 years later they think back, remember those times when you used to play Call of Duty and we just trash talk those guys? Like, it's not fun. It's like, what did you learn from trash talking on Call of Duty?
Because but I knew portable was like a community based thing. Because I remember in secondary school as well, people used to bring their PSPs and stuff to school. Then we used to play and you used to show, you can show people what you've done in the game and you show how far you've done and stuff. Like it was a more community. But you know what I mean, like the portable console was a more.
When we talk about PSPs and secondary school, it was almost like the only thing that referred to me was a chipping business.
Yeah, basically a lot of people used to hack the PSPs and just play all the free games, but like it was crazy. But you know, like it's like a community thing now. Kids don't play, they don't play together anymore.
Yeah, don't play together. They like, before it used to be like a huddle, but now it's like you just do whatever. Because I remember when I was younger, I played the heck out of Pokemon Diamond. I have like at least 400 hours clocked in that game, but on separate games, obviously, separate game cartridges. But at least on one, I had like 250 hours on it.
Jesus.
Exactly. And then like I remember playing with my cousins, and it was just like there's so much, like it's a 20-hour game, I think, or maybe 40-hour game, Pokemon Diamond, and then you can just trash out so much like extra game time because of, you know, playing with you're playing with someone else.
Yeah.
And it's got some nostalgia to it. Whereas when I think, because I went through stages, isn't it? When I used to play, you know, single play games with my cousins, and then we moved on to PS3 and we played Call of Duty and stuff. Yeah. What I remember about Call of Duty and PS3 is like, it's not much. Like, do you know, people get really hyped about well, in terms of Call of Duty, like nukes and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember my first nuke.
Did I ever get a nuke? I have no idea. I don't think I did.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't. It's not to me back then. It was so important for me to get a nuke, but then I remember my first ever shiny in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Maybe to me, like, those two are on two different levels of importance. But my first ever shiny was a Breezel, and I didn't know what the fuck a shiny was. I just thought, what the fuck? I just caught it. Thank God I caught it.
I don't even know when, but I do remember I got a shiny in Omega Ruby. I don't even know which one it was though.
Wait, I got a shiny in like in the first 10 minutes or something.
God, wow. But yeah,
something like that.
I can't remember.
It was really quick. Yeah, and I think my first shiny in Diamond was. I think my first shiny in Diamond and like another playthrough was a Geodude, but yeah. So
Color was that?
yeah, that's
Purple
what I
or
mean.
something?
Like Geodudes are gold. That's why they're so
Ah.
cool. Like it's like, oh, you're like a rock, and then now you turn into like a ball of gold. I wonder if you
Yeah.
can sell off like shiny Geodudes for money in the game. That'll be funny.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so like what I'm thinking now is like kids are just they're like it's even a problem now, cause a lot of people are saying that kids just stay indoors all the time playing games and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas like if they promoted football gaming, maybe they'll huddle around each other and play together. Like they don't just stay at home and play through the internet and be fat asses on the floor.
Yeah.
Like not on the floor, but just sitting in one place.
I mean, I don't think that's gonna work because Nintendo Switch is gonna try it, but it's not gonna work. Now at this point, I don't think there's anything to persuade these kids to go outside.
Obviously, yeah.
Except
From
for
that,
Pokemon
like,
Go.
Pokemon Go isn't even that great.
Well, it worked though. That's the thing. It made
worked
people
for, like,
go outside and play.
For like the first few months.
Yes, and you know why? The reason why it works because it was like the social media aspect of it. Because you can now, that you could have. I don't know. It wasn't not for me anyway, but I would think these kids will have this kind of feeling of clout. When they caught this many Pokemon, then they could share it with their friends on Twitter or something when they go outside. Because I saw a lot. Because my sister from school, like a lot of them used to just go out after school and catch Pokemon at the time. So it was a thing where it got people together through the internet. So I think if they try to do that, it's portable games that you don't play multiplayer with, and like you said, you played a lot of RPGs and stuff on your portable consoles. I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah, probably not.
Because they're single player games that people wouldn't be able to like share the experience.
Yeah,
online.
Yeah, that's what I was just like saying that maybe it could, but like just thinking back about like how kids are into what's now and what they think is cool.
Yeah,
and that's not necessarily portable gaming. They'll just think, oh, the new games that are coming out are really cool, or like the next Call of Duty is cool and we should all play together.
And
like you
graphics.
shoot people with guns and jump around, like
guns and
freaking,
graphics,
grasshoppers or whatever, and graphics as well, like oh blah blah blah. Yeah, so portable gaming is just dying.
Yeah, it's on the decline, to be honest. But I don't know about Nintendo, because I think Nintendo really have their grip on their fan base from years ago.
Yeah,
and that's where they're still alive.
I feel as though the only reason why Nintendo can still dish out all these underperforming consoles, and in no doubt in my mind, the Nintendo Switch is just going to get outdone. Like, is it going to be as powerful or more powerful than the PS4 Pro or the Xbox S? Is it
Xbox? Yeah, S and Scorpio that comes out this year, which is supposed to be more powerful than the PS4 Pro. So, and already the specs are out on the Nintendo Switch, and it's not as powerful as the PS4, the base one.
Exactly. So that's what they're doing. They're always trying to go with these underperforming consoles and try live off
some kind of gimmick.
Gimmick.
I'm not trying to say gimmick is a bad thing, because you can have good gimmicks, but they put all their effort into one gimmick, and if it fails, the whole console fails.
It's an ongoing pattern with Nintendo, with the Wii. Like when the first Wii came out, they revolutionized how gaming was with the trackable controls, and then PS4 tried it with the one looking thing that looked like a. I ain't gonna go into detail with that, but didn't work for PS4, but it worked for the Wii because of the games that were associated with it.
I think it was
is that
super casual. It was like
it was a casual thing.
It was an anomaly, to be honest, because the GameCube was, even though the GameCube was a good console compared to the sales in the 64, it was already going down, and then somehow they managed to hit a gold mine with the Wii, and then
the Wii was, I don't think it was managed somehow. I think the Wii itself was like it wasn't super revolutionary. It was just the one. It was this like that one unique thing at the time.
Yeah.
Where it was like a game console that basically depended on a trackable controller rather than just a handheld controller that you just it's logged by buttons rather than movement. but it goes back to the point that that it was just a casual console rather than a console for hardcore gamers. And yeah, that was good for the Wii. But then they went to the Wii U and they did nothing with it. And now they're going to go to the Switch. And with the performance of how Nintendo are moving on, you just can't hype yourself for Nintendo as a console providing company.
Yeah.
But the only thing that you can actually have some faith in is the games that they produce. And that is only because they're running off a series that whether it's dying or not, I'm not sure, but like they have series like Pokemon, Zelda, Mario, and those are the three that really really predominant, or in my head anyways. Like they're just living off these series, and kids nowadays, like you said, they don't really care about those things anymore.
Yeah, because they weren't even around, and those were like
they weren't even around
at the time.
Exactly. So now the kids are more into stuff like Call of Duty and stuff, and those are the kids that. Well, we can't generalize all kids to like Call of Duty, but I feel as though most kids will be into Call of Duty and you can maybe pick a few out who are like, oh, I like games. I wonder what games were like back in the day, and they'll play old games like Zelda, and they'll be like, I don't know why you guys are playing Call of Duty because there's good games like Zelda, and he'll probably get picked on, that one kid in the back of the class.
It's not cool to be liking those kind of games. That's the thing, and it's just
it's not cool.
When kids,
honestly, kids, if any kid is even like watching this until this point, like I'm just
try
telling
more
you
games.
Now, just try old games, because not only will these old games teach you something, it'll also give you skills. Because Call of Duty is not... Do you know what Call of Duty is? It's you knowing the map and you having a good enough internet and fast enough reflexes to out-reflex another person. The most skill in Call of Duty that I have ever experienced in my whole life, because I stopped before like the period where everybody started jumping around like fucking grasshoppers and kangaroos in fucking Australia.
Samurai
like,
and all sorts.
Oh fuck that shit, yeah. It just pisses me off how Call of Duty went down the most dumbest piece of shit landfill fucking... I'm swearing so much now because it actually grinds me how bad Call of Duty has gone. Because my channel used to be based off Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad it was. But anyways, just spend time and play a tactical game, because like Deo played Final Fantasy VII for the first time in his life and he's struggling, and he doesn't. And you don't. Yeah, at the end at least. But you don't usually struggle in games nowadays.
Yeah, you didn't.
It's usually a breeze, and whether that is fun for you or not, I don't know. But back in the day, games were a struggle, and I feel as though they should remain a struggle. Not only will that give you a bigger sense of accomplishment at the end, and you can tell your friends, well, I played Final Fantasy VII and I beat the boss at the end. It took a few tries, but I still beat him. But now it's like, do you remember Arden? That guy, yeah? Like,
you just hold circle.
All I did was hold circle and, spam high potions. Like, oh, yeah.
They're not memorable anymore.
It's not right. Like, exactly. It's like, even Sephiroth. I remember that. Like, I remember when I first, saw him. I was like, damn, he got a makeover. But that's besides the point. He just still one-hit KO you.
He's like, 2 stages as well. Like, you think he killed him the first time.
Bloody stupid. I might actually replay Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 before I start Kingdom Hearts 3 again, because I can't remember what. 2,
was it hard at it? It did have its difficulties.
Yeah, it did have its difficulties, but compared to games nowadays, it's still got that level of difficulty.
What's now? Because Final Fantasy 15, was a cakewalk. You could just press circle and hold that shit the whole time. You didn't fear for your life at one. The only time you fear for your life is when you try to fight a monster that was too high of a level.
Yeah, and it'll just one-shot you. And here's the thing, alright, with Final Fantasy 15, the level of easiness is, as long as you have money, and as long as you have enough high potions and Phoenix Downs, you will get through that boss.
Yeah, that's what I did with Revis.
Yeah, exactly.
You just get the one-shot him and I just ended up killing him anyway.
Yeah, but Revis is like, he had maybe 5 patterns of moves, and it
Yeah.
wasn't that hard. Whereas like back in the day, it was like, oh yeah, I'm playing with my luck here. Fucking two moves later, fucking one shots everyone. And the thing is, you don't have the armor bar. Like your health bar becomes your armor bar, like in a fighting game.
Yeah.
So then like, for instance, in Street Fighter, when you block, you take damage, but it's like an armor bar, and then if you don't take damage for a certain amount of time, the amount that you blocked for will get re-healed as your health.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in old games. In old games, once you get hit, that's your life going. Once that hits 0, you're dead. Whereas in Final Fantasy 15, you've got like that time frame that you can use items and shit. That's like, it kind of makes you feel that you don't need to be prepared.
Yeah, you can just run
Because, yeah, you just run in. Like in Final Fantasy 7, before you hit 0 HP, you make sure you have enough health to sustain the next hit, or at least the next few hits, right? And if it hits 0, you're gonna have to use a Phoenix Down, correct?
Yeah, or a life, or a revive.
Or revive.
So basically, you have to build your team to make sure you have contingency plans for when things go wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
But in
or
Final
like
Fantasy
prevent.
15, 15, you didn't need to think about that. You just jumped in and slashed people, and that's it.
Exactly, and at the end of the fight, you get like he's back up, and it doesn't even start at 1 HP. It starts like a fifth of the HP.
Yeah.
Old games weren't like that. Console game, like portable console games. I can't remember an easy portable console game.
But also, like you can also argue that that's just Final Fantasy 15. They just didn't really put effort, because there's some other games that out here that do have some level of difficulty. I just think that a lot of the bigger AAA games, they will dumb it down to be able to sell to a mass audience, because if it gets harder, like some of these people, some of these younger people, they wouldn't want that challenge. Who wouldn't want to play this game? Like Dark Souls. Even though Dark Souls 3 kind of it's a really popular, it sold really well. I think so. Even how hard it was, like people, that game rekindled people's like thirst for challenge. Because the whole point of a game is to challenge you anyway. The whole point of being a game is for the challenge, and feeling victorious at the end, because you really struggled and you managed to overcome the game. Nowadays, games are just like I enjoyed. I'll give you an example, like Uncharted as well. I enjoyed Uncharted 4, but it's like you just play a movie. You know what I mean? And you can raise the difficulty, but then the difficulty spike is ridiculous. They don't make it a challenge. Like the very hard mode will be stupid. You just be like, this is ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not. I don't know how to explain it, but when there's a difficulty there, you can overcome it if you just think about what you're doing. But there's some difficulties where they just bump it to hard ridiculously for no reason, and then it's like you die from the dumbest stuff.
Oh yeah, I get you.
So it's like, do you really even want to try to play in these very hard modes in these games, because they're not really made that well? But I mean, I don't know.
Obviously, yeah, that's true as well, because games can be hard, but obviously they have to be.
There's a method in why they're hard.
Yeah,
like
it can't just be stupid hard.
Yeah, for no reason. Like in Dark Souls, like you could make it easier for yourself when you play the game if you just thought about the way you play.
Yeah, so it's not hard in the sense of they just made it hard because
they just made stupid enemies.
Yeah. So a stupid hard is Flappy Bird. A stupid hard is Flappy Bird because it's coded to the point where it's just stupid. Like you don't even touch the pipes and you die. But the thing is with Dark Souls is that there's mechanics.
Yeah, there's mechanics
that you have to learn and you have to master for you to be good at the game, and that's the difference here.
And when you master the game, that even when it's super hard, you can make it look easy because you're just so good at the game. And that's the kind of difficulty I'm talking about. But there's some games where it doesn't matter how good you are. If you put it hard, it's just gonna fuck you over. I don't know.
Even talking about the AAA games nowadays, it's like the last Pokemon game that I feel that I had trouble with, or like the last Pokemon game that I actually had trouble with was Soul Silver, and that was the latest one. Like the latest Pokemon game I had trouble with was Soul Silver. That was it.
Yeah. Omega Ruby that wasn't hard. X and Y, wasn't really hard. And then it was just. They're just making it. Yeah, it's what I said before. They're just making it easier for the target audience because they want to target younger audiences and more casual audiences, so they don't really want to make their games too hard anymore. But it doesn't. It's just dumb.
That's why usually I would tell people to buy Pokemon, but I'm not telling anyone to buy Pokemon now. Like, Pokemon is just not. It's not. This gen should be the dead gen.
I wonder, because I mean, a lot of people say it's good. Like, you're the only person I've heard from, or you and someone else I've seen on YouTube. I've heard that the game's boring. Other than that, everyone are praising the game.
Yeah, everybody's been praising the game.
It might just be hype though, because maybe a few months down the line, everyone will be bashing it. That's what that's what happens in the game. Sometimes a big game comes out.
The thing is that when Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby came out, it wasn't hyped or it wasn't bashed on at all. No, everybody just accepted it for what it was because I think it was a remake.
Yeah.
X and Y was the same as well. Nobody really bashed it. Nobody really hyped it. It was just hyped by the promotions and whatever, and like the fact that like basically Nintendo just basically, advertising it a lot.
Yeah.
But with Sun and Moon, it was just a different story. It's like I had an opinion for once about Pokemon because Pokemon always followed that that generic working formula of gyms, legendary Pokemon, starter Pokemons, and that Dushas rival. But they just started changing, and I'm just feeling, why are you fixing something that doesn't work, or why are you fixing something that doesn't need to be fixed? But
yeah, I don't know.
We already talked about this, but
we already talked about it. We've really gone off on topic, like. But I guess this is just like an open discussion, like portable consoles, and we kind of moved into difficulty in games. But like, I think portable consoles, there's still more harder games. I think there might be more harder games on the portable consoles themselves because it's like a niche market now, and they know that the player base are people who like really want to be playing these games, and the smaller titles are always the ones. Well, I wouldn't say always the ones are the harder ones. But they don't care as much because they know that they're not gonna be, branching out to a mass audience.
I hope that because we're talking about that you're saying that they're trying to branch out to more casual players.
Yeah.
Because the last Persona game, Persona games were like, I can't remember what console Persona 4 was released on, but Persona 3 was the handheld game. And it was pretty hard if you did like the main story is pretty hard as well. So I hope that they don't make Persona 5 easy crap.
Yeah, I haven't even played Persona before, but I might try 5, possibly if it's a good game. If people say like if I had some good things about the game, I'll try it. But yeah,
I guess we should just cut the podcast now because we've
rambled on so much,
so long now.
But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We went in for like 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. But yeah, it was a nice discussion. Tell us what you think about it in the comment section below, and we'll see you all later.